Oh, now I'm back with part two. Before I go hit this treadmill on the male version of this pros and cons of older males. Please listen to part one. There's good information at the start of it. It kind of takes the teeth out of what Chrissy is saying and is going to say. There's a difference between how Americans act and how international people act. I consider myself an international person because I still travel a lot and I lived overseas for 4 years before I came back to America. I spent my early 20s going from Romania to France to England to Negril. So, what Chrissy is saying has to do with males and females who are not well rounded in the black community. In the black community, it's either thugging, trifling, or it's middle class, upper class. There is no in between. And we try to shame the middle class, upper class, and in everything she's given advice to these young women. She's given advice to these young women coming from a female who has dibbled and dabbled in both parts. But at the same time, when you hear her, and I'm not knocking her experience because she's a female talking to females, but when you hear her, it's coming from a very American only mindset. And a lot of these women, when they get that type of information, and what she's saying isn't altogether bad, but when they get this type of information as females, it limits them and it makes them angry. And the same thing with dudes. When they get limited information, it makes them angry. And they think that, okay, I gotta deal with how these American chicks act. You don't. You can broaden your horizons, but in broadening your horizons, you're gonna learn that you have to be more aware because you're dealing with other cultures and other traditions, and they put certain things above what you put them. Now, you're going to hear later, Chrissy's going to talk about the whole male thing, but I'm going to throw this out there. Black women hate the word daddy, but Latin women, white women love the word daddy or poppy. That's why you hear a lot of people say poppy. Because in certain other cultures, and you know what I'm saying makes sense because you've experienced it with some of your Latin friends and your Asian friends and your Filipino friends. A woman having reference for a man publicly is not strange in their culture. But in our culture, men come third. Men come third. And that's what they teach the boys and they teach the girls. And that's why there's an imbalance. Even when some American black women deal with other cultures of men, they quick to understand, and even Carrison says this, they quick to understand that they have to deal with a certain demographic of male approach. Unless you're like Carrison, where you get a weaker male, a more docile male, and then you're able to do it that way. But when you're dealing with some of the other males from other cultures, they're not trying to be bend over, push over artists the way American black women are trained to address males. So let's listen to what Chrissy has to say, and I'm going to dissect some more.
And this question is being asked because, contrary to popular black YouTube belief, younger women don't usually go for much older men unless they're looking to be taken care of, unless they're quote unquote gold diggers, right? To me, that's
so this is a shaming tactic that females use against females. Yes, you hear some men say it, but for the most part, established halfway decent men don't care if a female is coming to him with a take advantage point of view, because either he's going to allow himself to get taken or he's not. And all males understand, all males who are not boys don't understand this, but all males understand females are opportunists. Females are opportunists the same way lower class males are opportunists. Well, you know what? Let me put all males can be opportunists because maybe he's trying to be an opportunistic person for the sex and he's going after a more poor, desperate female for these maneuvers. Now, women are going to try to spin it. They're always going to try to spin something to make the man look evil and the woman look pristine. So it's kind of like no matter what you say as a guy, even when you're trying to be rational in these discussions, she's going to jump off of one subject and try to attack what I just said, for example, and say, see, all men try to take advantage. Yeah, but that doesn't negate the fact that women do it too. Women try to go after guys that they feel that they can control him because he doesn't have any self-esteem or no wherewithal. He has a penis and he works, so he has a paycheck. And a lot of females understand that. Just the way a lot of guys understand that, hey, some of these females, you know, they need the penis and they need the paycheck, so he going to go in there and play the game. I say all that to say this. When a woman like Chrissy says that male, so when these females say younger females do not go for much older men, it's only an American thing. It's not so much of an England thing, a France thing. And she's also going to tell a little small fib saying that once you're 40, you think that all these women are going to come your way, and they're not. Well, in actuality, she's wrong about that too. The African American females don't go after guys who are older. Every other culture does. Every other culture, Filipino, Asian, white, even Caribbean black women, even African black women, they see an established man at an event. She wants to know about who he is. A lot of women in these more upscale scenarios don't really want to interact with the white guys or the Asian guys that they do. But they see limited amount of black men because, like myself, black men like myself don't really make it. And they don't really come to a lot of these events. So they're kind of shocked when they see some of us black men at these events. So what she's saying is wrong. Younger women really do, just not American.
The real definition of a gold digger. And some of these black men especially think that when they become established at age 40, because, you know, a lot of black men take a little bit longer to get established, they feel like they're going to have a million 23-year-old women lined up waiting, you know, around the corner to date them or marry them. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
And right there, you see how women love to put down males in a very slick way. I'm very honest, if you notice, to both genders. I'm not going to say it's completely true, blah, blah, blah. But she said couldn't be further from the truth. Per her experience, maybe so. But maybe she hasn't looked across the different classisms, the upper class, the lower class, and maybe she's only addressing the bottom class. And it's just not true what she's saying. It's better for her to say that majority don't. But, you know, I've met so many women who are black, Spelman, Clark, who only date and have married older, established dudes. So maybe it's just her circle of thuggery, and I'm assuming thuggery because she's, you know, these little slick disses toward black men are disingenuous. If you're really trying to have a conversation, now mind you, she's talking to females, so, you know, but if you're really trying to have a great informational conversation, a conversation containing great information, then you have to be fair to both conversations. Otherwise, you're misleading the ladies and you're just telling the group what they more so want to hear. The actual thing is a lot of younger ladies who are not trying to gold dig, they want to learn stuff from older men. They want older men who really have this Some ladies do want that daddy feel from their man. I've seen women fight submitting to it. I've had dinner groups where some woman is with some guy within the dinner group, and it took her 2-3 years to lose all that independent I am diva mentality and just really fall into the fact that this dude cares about me. I may just have to keep this daddy feel because that's just what it is. It gives her comfort. It gives her warmth. See, the women who want to fight against that poppy type of approach, hey, poppy, like Latin women do, the women are giving up a lot of the femininity to do that. It's the same reason why you got females going to strip club to meet males. That's your father of your children is not there. Your father of your children is at Home Depot buying some tiling for the bathroom that he's doing. Your father of Home Depot, your father, your husband to be, is not necessarily at church. Maybe this guy is a contractor for the church and does the church landscaping and has his own company. Black American females just don't know how to look, and they think it's better for them to be sexually excited and then try to make that person into a husband. It's like with the Cardi B thing. The girl gonna be divorced in 2 years flat because Offset, the guy, is not he's out there having fist fights with people at airports. I mean, but this is what they don't want to add in the conversation. You have to be a woman of standard in order to get these dudes of standard, no matter how, what their age is. But let's go back to more of what she's talking about.
I know I can speak for a lot of women out there, but I wasn't checking for 40-year-old men in my early 20s. In my 20s, period. I was barely checking for a 30-year-old man. I've always liked guys who were, maybe a few years older than me, maybe 3 or 4 years older, but never more than that. I mean, you were pushing it if you were 5 years older than me. Okay. When I was 23, a 30-something-year-old man was an old man to me. And it's the same for most women. Most women and men marry their peers, or, somebody who's maybe 4 years older than them. And they do that for a multitude of reasons. The main reason being that you just have more in common with people around your age. That's just the way it is. So just like, many men may say, oh, older women are unappealing, so are older men.
Now, see, that's the BS that they like to say that men say. See, women love to tell you what men think, but seem to never ask men. There's a lot of older women, the ones who work out, who are good. You rarely hear bad stuff about older females. What you hear is bad stuff about females out of shape. See, a male. So that's how you know Chrissy isn't getting that information from an actual male. She's getting it from a couple of boys that she know. A couple of 20, 30-year-olds who are only out to have sex. If you're dealing with people who are only out to have sex, yeah, they're going to make those type of comments. But all of us know there's some bad chicks, which is why we men invented the word MILF. Women didn't invent the word MILF. We invented the word MILF because we know there's some bad older chicks. That's why in some of the white cultures, they got the word GILF, which is the grandmas. Because some of them look tight to death. So you see how the women come with this misleading thing? And in our culture, it's always, even though she's not intentionally saying this, it always comes across men are bad, women are perfect. Men are bad, women are perfect. And this is why these things happen. But what I will tell you, brothers, is when you do come around a woman who is not like that, even if she's out of shape, even if she got bumps on her face or what have you, don't be an asshole, because you make it bad if you're gonna always be in a boy frame of mind of she's ugly, she's fat, she's out of shape. You don't have to express that verbally all the time. Have some dignity for the chick who is really into males and wants to follow the man machismo thought process. You kill your own image as black men when you speak against a female who is trying to be on your side, regardless of how she looks. She might not be for you. She might be with the next cat. But if you keep putting these chicks down and disrespecting them, you're going to create another crystalline character. You're going to create another man hater. You need to have logic as black men. You black men claim to have logic. You got to start acting it out. Another thing that she says about people generally get with their peers in America, they do, and maybe 40% outside of America they do, but a lot of people really get with great fits, great connections. They not, it isn't necessarily the whole he got to be around my age, 3 years older, or whatever the case may be. Now, I will also admit this: 20 years is a stretch, but that's why they got Jamaican songs stating that women back in the day used to get with much, much, much older guys. That's why they got Romanian songs like that, Jewish songs like that, Greek songs about the younger girl with the older husband. But for some reason in this African American community, they like to put it down. I will also say this in closing, that again, she's talking for and to younger girls. So she's only going to tell them, the part that she's experienced, and also what she has seen in her limited American view. She really needs to get more broader, but that's neither here nor there. Again, these older guys are not perfect, just like these younger guys are not perfect. But I will leave you with this, and make sure you get part 3, because we're going to continue evaluating what Chrissy's saying. But I will say this: it's really weird when these women give advice. They always paint the woman who's older with a younger guy as perfect. Whether it be Madonna with a younger guy, whether it be Halle Berry with a younger guy, but they always tend to find a way to slick diss the guys who happen to be with younger females. At the end of the day, it's about the children. At the end of the day, and make sure you come back for part 3, at the end of the day, it's about the children. And both men and women forget that when we come together and we're talking about doing something long term, whether we're going to have children or whether we're going to adopt, we have to think about what is the next phase of life after we've been together 5 years, dating or engaged or otherwise. There has to be more than just sex, because too many people are getting together just because they're sexually turned on, and they're terrible parents. So, which is one of the reasons why I'm single now. I'm looking for more than just the appearance. I'm going into the next phase where, there's more to build, more to ascertain, and there has to be a best friend element with the female. We can go to the black and white store and shop and make her look good and get some boots for her and what have you. But you got to get that best friend element. Come back for part 3. Tell me in the comment section what you think.